The woman in the back seat wasn't there when I checked my mirror. But after the third toll booth, dispatch called me asking why I had stopped picking up passengers. Back in October 2021, a rideshare driver from Texas posted his experience online before deleting the account completely 2 days later. People archived the story, and it spread through horror forums because of how detailed and disturbing it was. The driver said he worked late nights around Houston airport routes because the money was better after midnight. Around 2:40 a.m., he accepted a pickup request from an old neighborhood outside the city. The account name was just Mara. No profile photo, no rating. He almost canceled, but surge pricing was active, so he drove there anyway. The pickup location was a dead-end street surrounded by abandoned houses. Streetlights barely worked. According to him, the app kept glitching as he approached, making the map spin in circles. Then he saw her, a woman standing beside the curb in a pale gray dress. She looked normal at first, except she never moved, not even slightly. No shifting weight, no waving, nothing. He unlocked the doors. She slowly opened the back passenger door and got inside. That's when he noticed the smell. Wet soil, like dirt after heavy rain. He greeted her, but she didn't answer. The app already showed the destination, a small town nearly an hour away. As they drove, he kept trying to make conversation, but every time he glanced in the rearview mirror, her face was hidden in darkness. About 15 minutes into the ride, he finally got a better look. Her skin looked unnaturally pale, not sick pale, almost gray. And her eyes? He said they reflected light even when there wasn't any. That's when the radio turned to static. Not normal interference, violent static. The kind that makes you instantly uncomfortable. Then the GPS voice started speaking randomly. Not directions, just one phrase repeating over and over. Turn around. At first he thought it was a software bug, but then his phone screen went black. A few seconds later, the rideshare app completely disappeared from his phone. No trip, no passenger, nothing. He pulled over beside a gas station to restart the app. When he turned around to apologize to the passenger, the back seat was empty, but the rear passenger door was slightly open. He swore he never heard it open. Panic hit him instantly. He got out, checked around the parking lot, even went inside the gas station, asking if anyone saw a woman leave his car. The clerk told him he had arrived alone. Then things got worse. His phone rang. Dispatch. The operator sounded confused. She asked why he had driven 40 miles off route without a passenger. He told her the woman had been in the car the entire time. Silence. Then the operator asked him to repeat the passenger's name. Mara. Another silence. Then she said something that made him nearly crash trying to leave that gas station. Earlier that night, another driver had reported picking up a woman with the same name from the exact same street. That driver never came back online. Police found his abandoned car near a swamp road outside the city the next morning. Empty. No driver. No signs of struggle. Nothing except muddy footprints in the back seat. The operator told him to go home immediately and contact police if he noticed anyone following him. He sped back toward Houston before sunrise. But during the drive home, he noticed something horrifying. Every few miles, the rear passenger door warning light would flicker on for a second, then off again. On, off, on, as if someone in the back seat kept opening the door slightly. When he finally reached his apartment complex, the sun was rising. He parked, grabbed his keys, and looked into the back seat one last time. At first, it looked empty. Then he noticed wet footprints on the floor mat, leading from one side of the car to directly behind the driver's seat, and pressed into the fogged window beside them, a handprint from the inside. He said he stood there frozen for almost a full minute, staring at that handprint on the glass. The sun was coming up. Birds were chirping. People were leaving for work. Everything outside looked completely normal. But inside that car, the air felt wrong, cold, heavy, like someone was still sitting there watching him. He wiped the window with his sleeve, trying to calm himself down, telling himself it had to be condensation, maybe from the rain earlier that night. Then he noticed something else. The handprint was too long. The fingers looked unnaturally thin, almost stretched. He unlocked his apartment door and went straight to the bathroom to splash water on his face. According to the Post, he barely slept that morning. Every tiny sound from outside made him jump. Around noon, he finally called the police station handling the missing driver case. The officer who answered listened quietly while he explained everything. The strange passenger, the missing ride request, the muddy footprints. When he finished, the officer asked one question. "Did she speak to you at all?" He said no. The officer became silent for a moment before replying, "You're lucky." Before the driver could ask what that meant, the officer told him investigators had found security footage from a toll booth connected to the missing driver's route. The footage showed his car entering the highway at 3:11 a.m. But there was something disturbing about the video. The driver appeared alone when the car entered. Then, frame by frame, a figure slowly became visible in the back seat, not entering the vehicle, already inside it, like it faded into existence. The officer refused to send him the footage, but warned him not to return to that neighborhood again. That should have been the end of it. But 3 nights later, he went back to driving. Bills don't stop because you're terrified. He avoided airport rides and stayed near crowded areas. For a while, things felt normal again. Until exactly 3:14 a.m., his app pinged. New pickup request. He almost ignored it. Then he noticed the name. Mara. His stomach dropped instantly. Different account photo this time. Different rating, but the same pickup street. He declined the ride immediately. A few seconds later, another request appeared. Same name. Declined again. Then again. And again. 5 requests in less than 1 minute. Finally, his phone rang from a blocked number. He answered without thinking. At first there was only static. Then a woman whispered, "Why did you leave me there?" The call ended. He threw the phone onto the passenger seat so hard it cracked the screen. Panic completely took over. He drove straight toward the nearest police station, but while waiting at a red light, he noticed something moving in the mirror. Someone sitting behind him. He spun around. Empty seat. Then the dome light above the back seat slowly turned on by itself. Click. He heard breathing. Not his own. Slow. Wet. Right behind him. The driver said he jumped out of the car in the middle of traffic. Witnesses later reported seeing him screaming beside the road while his empty vehicle rolled into a divider. Police body cam footage supposedly showed him hysterically repeating one sentence over and over. "She followed me home." After that night, he disappeared from every social media platform connected to the story. No updates, no interviews, nothing. But users online later discovered something disturbing. For years, people traveling through that same part of Texas had posted stories about a woman appearing on empty roadside highways after midnight, always wearing gray, always silent. And nearly every story mentioned the same detail: the smell of wet soil. Some believe it's just an urban legend that spread online. Others think the driver invented everything for attention. But locals around that highway still warn night drivers about one thing. If a rideshare request appears after 3 a.m. from an abandoned street with no houses occupied, never accept the passenger named Mara. Because according to the stories, she's still trying to get home.